extended that tornado warning as well for Rowan and over into Elliott County, which is Elliott County is just outside of our area, but looks pretty nasty just to the north or right over Moorhead right now. We know we have the university and stuff there as well, so just wanted to shout that out as well.
Yeah, and that's a good point. We were about to head up to that one, and now that tornado warning since has been extended. So we've got that in Rowan County until 11 p.m., working over till Elliott County at 11 p.m. as well, all for the rotation that was showing up right near and in between Moorhead and Lakeview Heights at this time. That's where we're likely seeing some of the strongest rotation within that. Again, the system and the radar is a little bit cloudy with it, so let's try to point it from a different direction. This might be more beneficial for us here in viewing where the strongest rotation is. Now coming out of the Wilmington radar from up in Ohio, we see that rotation is right in between, right outside of Lakeview Heights, right in between that and Moorhead. Working towards Brady, Moorhead, and Clearfield at this time. We've got reds that are coming toward the radar scene and greens going away in this instance. So the rotation looks something like that. That's likely where we're seeing that strongest rotation as it moves right towards Moorhead. Tornado possible with this setup, radar indicated at this time. So no doubt you need to be down in your safe space. Rodburn, Moorhead, Brady, Clearfield, out to Christie, and then we start moving a little further to the east, and those communities are going to need to be within that as well. Likely moving to the east again at like 35, 40 miles an hour, so we'll need to keep a close eye on how that progresses. We've got another tornado warning down, it looks like now in Pulaski County. It did get extended. Peyton, what's the update on that tornado headed their way?
Yeah, so moving east at around 45 miles per hour. We were just talking about it just a few moments ago. Again, that tornado warning into Russell County now being extended. This storm is pretty much just following the Cumberland Parkway. So this now includes Somerset, Ferguson, Burnside, even far northern Wayne County, right along Lake Cumberland now. Now, the area of rotation and the greatest hail threat is, again, right along the Cumberland Parkway right now as we speak. But if you're in Somerset, you're in Ferguson, I was just saying about 5 minutes ago, you need to be on the lookout for this, and now we've seen that warning extended. This now includes a large portion of State Route 80 as well through Pulaski County, almost the entirety of it through Pulaski County. And so if you're in downtown Somerset, this is making a beeline right towards you right now as we speak. So if you're in those areas, places like Nancy, out along the lake in those regions as well, and anywhere along the Cumberland Parkway in Pulaski County, you need to get in your safe spot right now as we speak. Let's go ahead and take a closer look at the eye of the storm. Notice this black shading here inside the purple, likely dealing with some hail inside of that core there as well. I'll go ahead and transition this over to velocity so we can see the rotation. And again, you can see the winds going towards the radar site and away from the radar site. So this is the area where we're seeing the strongest rotation right in here where I just circled that area there. So we're going to continue to monitor this as the night goes on. And again, really, this rotation has held all night long, pretty much since back before Bowling Green, and continues to pretty much, again, parallel or follow just to the south of the Cumberland Parkway. So if you're out in some of these communities, you want to be getting into your safe spot right now as soon as you can. Again, especially if you're now in Pulaski County. If you're in Russell County, this is pretty much right on the county line here. Now to the just to the east of Russell Springs where we're seeing the greatest rotation. Let me put a time tracker on this. Again, moving to the east at around 45 miles per hour. If you're in Fallbush, 1037. Burnetta, 1039, Norfleet, 1039, Naomi, 1040. I just called out Nancy a few moments ago. If you're in that part of Pulaski County, 1043, Delmer, 1044, Hislop, 1044 as well, Oil Center, 1047. So if you're in any of these areas, you want to get into your safe spot within the next few minutes as a tornado-warned storm continues to march off to the east in towards these areas right now. So again, that greatest rotation right in here, that's where we could possibly be seeing a tornado about to cross from Russell into Pulaski County. This new warning goes until 11:15, so it goes for quite a little bit longer. They've put it out well in advance now, though, to pretty much almost cover the entirety of central and southern Pulaski County here, from Somerset to Ferguson and Burnside. It'll be with you in the next 15 minutes or so, so you'll want to be in your safe spot as well coming up in the next little bit. Justin, obviously the Somerset area, a pretty well populated part of southern Kentucky there, one of the bigger cities that we cover down in that part of our viewing area. So folks in that neck of the woods want to be on the lookout and definitely be getting into your safe spot, calling your loved ones, and make sure you have a helmet, pillows, things like that to cover your head. If you don't have a basement, get into that most interior room if you can. We'll continue to watch this. It's looked pretty impressive all night long. Justin.
Yeah, it definitely shows the severity and the urgency that we have as we come on the air tonight and discuss all of these different warnings that we have in place. The night is still young at this point as we have more storms racing in northern parts of the viewing area as well. Not to forget about our friends in Franklin, Anderson, and parts of Woodford County now. This storm again moving to the east at roughly 60 miles an hour. It's starting to knock on the door of Anderson and Franklin County now. While it doesn't look impressive on reflectivity, if I move over here for you to the velocity, we are getting some pockets within this that are likely producing some very strong wind gusts. Let's get down here just south of Shelbyville so you can kind of see what is expected to come our way here in the next half hour or so. And I just want to get a reading on that as we take a look at the winds within the thunderstorm. And a couple of those spots are producing in the thunderstorm over 70-mile-an-hour wind gusts. Again, the storm in the history of producing a reading at 82 miles an hour in Louisville there earlier this evening. So if you are in Frankfort, if you are in places near Anderson County and Lawrenceburg, it's a good time to get down into the safe space with that, because this storm is just starting to enter those eastern or those western portions of your county. Frankfort to Lawrenceburg. Inside of that, people in Stamping Ground, Midway, Versailles, eventually Georgetown and Lexington. This is probably about 35 to 40 minutes out from making its way into a new zone, likely a warning getting extended on that line as we move through. So obviously we've got many warnings here. We've got a new one that looks like it just came out for portions of eastern Kentucky again to sort of cover the rest of that line that was trying to produce some 70-plus-mile-an-hour winds. So we're going to take it from that storm back up to the Moorhead area, then we'll go back to Pulaski with Peyton. He'll have an update on that storm, likely getting close to Somerset. So folks, please heed the warnings and get down into the safe space. Just to cover this storm here, it does look a little messy, but we're talking about from northern portions of Rockcastle County all the way through Jackson County into portions of Owsley County now, and then covering the rest of almost the rest of Breathitt County, all the way up through Magoffin and our friends in there, Morgan County. Right now, currently the storm, the strongest of it, is in Wolfe County, moving just out of Campton. Well, all within this line and this cluster of showers and storms, we're seeing the potential for 70-mile-an-hour wind gusts. Again, it's moving to the east at roughly 60 to 70 miles an hour. Might be putting on the brakes just a little bit, but nonetheless, still not rotation, not tornadic activity. 70-mile-an-hour winds going to knock a lot of stuff over. So make sure you're down in your safe space from Jackson, West Liberty, Salyersville, and then Campton, Beattyville, Boonville, McKee, Sand Gap. You're all got to be in it. Berea, you guys are getting some heavy rain now as well. Moving up towards that tornado warning that's right now entering Moorhead. Serious stuff with this one too. I know that we haven't had anything confirmed, but in Moorhead at this time, this center of the storm is knocking on the door. It's here. If you're not already in your safe space, you needed to be there like 10, 15 minutes ago. Let's go over to our storm relative velocity and see what's happening here. Not getting a great reading of rotation from our Jackson site. Let me move over to Wilmington to see if there's a bit more. This is probably a little higher up in the storm. So while there is some rotation just to the south and east of Moorhead, really anywhere within that tornado warning from Moorhead further to the east, we're likely to see some of the rotation taking place. Let me get back over to the Jackson storm relative here so you get an idea. Okay, again, green and red, you got to get under the bed. Green going towards this way, red going away that way. Broad enough, but really anywhere within this zone is likely the opportunity for some spinning, possibly funnels. All radar indicated at this time, nothing confirmed, but nothing to play around with either. So please get down. Again, it's moving just a little bit to the east at roughly 35 to 40 miles an hour. I'll put the tracker on there quick to see what that looks like for us here. A couple different pieces that it's picking up for the cell. Let's go with this one first, putting it towards Olive Hill by 11 p.m., just outside of Sandy Hook there, anywhere in between. We're talking about that storm getting there in the next 20 minutes. A BTI of 7.9 now. That's really starting to get up there in terms of rotation with that storm. So heed that warning. We're going to take one break from it and let the next scan come in. We got to get over to Pulaski County now. Peyton has an update on that cell working into Somerset.
Yeah, continuing to watch this one as it continues to march off to the east. Again, we've been talking about it all evening long. It's pretty much paralleling or following the Cumberland Parkway. It's been doing so for the past couple of hours, and it continues to show some significant signs of some rotation on radar. Not only that, the threat for damaging winds and also the threat for some hail with this as well. So again, if you're in places like Somerset, Ferguson, back towards Nancy, and some of those smaller surrounding communities, make sure to get into your safe spot right now. That most interior room in your house, whether that's a closet, interior bathroom on the first lowest level of your home, or if you have a basement, go there right now. So we're continuing to watch that one again along the Cumberland Parkway. This warning goes until 11:15 and pretty much includes all of central Pulaski County this evening as we speak. It is pretty much, at least the rotation aspect of it has pretty much crossed into Pulaski County right now. Going to go ahead and switch things over to the velocity. Still showing a pretty good little couplet here of those winds going toward and away from the radar. You can see that here. I'll circle it on the screen. That's where these reds and greens are coming together. It's pretty much crossing the county line right now. So if you live right across or right along the Russell into the Pulaski County line, that's where this area of rotation is right now as we speak. Going to go ahead and turn on one of our tools here. This is one of our tools we use to track exactly the conditions we're seeing. It's picking up on the potential again for that hail, but notice this red and even that yellow shading right where that rotation is, right in there, picking up on some pretty strong winds our in-house radar product is. So we're going to continue to monitor that as well. Regardless, heavy rain, a lot of lightning with this as well, and we're continuing to see those conditions continue to deteriorate across portions of Pulaski. This also includes far northern Wayne County, pretty much right along the lake. However, I think the worst of this is just going to stay just to the north of you. So again, if you're in Nancy, it's on top of you in the next 5-10 minutes or so. If you're in places like Ferguson, Somerset, probably about 15 minutes or so until it gets into your area, 10-15 minutes, give or take. But you'll want to go ahead, take this seriously, get into your safe spot as it's been showing rotation pretty much all night long. Justin?
Yeah, that storm has been impressive, no doubt, from Paducah to Bowling Green and now to here with the chance for some tornadic activity. We're really starting to get a lot of blanket warnings popping up here for us all across central Kentucky and into eastern Kentucky. The latest update for us now has that line of storms from E-Town to Bowling Green racing to the east again, like we said it would, trying to catch up to this convection out in front of it. Now moving 70 miles an hour, producing 70-mile-an-hour wind gusts. It includes a few spots here like Mercer County, Boyle County, and Casey County until 11:30 p.m. This line is all the way back between E-Town and Bowling Green along I-65. That doesn't give you an idea of how quick it's moving. There's no better way to paint the picture of that. So we are getting into our safe space now. This whole line is going to produce the potential of some wind gusts that could knock things over at least 70 miles an hour. Very important for us here, as well as, of course, we have to switch radars to get there, but we roll through eastern Kentucky once again because we still have plenty to focus on with that before the other line gets here. You heard what you need to do in Pulaski County. No jokes there. You need to be down. Let's go through what's going on here in eastern Kentucky once more as this cluster of showers now really starting to break apart. But anywhere in these cells, you could see a downburst of 70-plus-mile-an-hour winds. It's not guaranteed, but we see that as we go from West Liberty down through Jackson. That's where we're seeing the leading edge. That's where likely the strongest of the winds are. Let's get a close look at what that is in terms of our velocity here, and you'll be able to see it. I mean, this is impressive, no doubt, as this line comes through into these areas just south of West Liberty now. Take a look at that right along our Bluegrass Mountain Parkway there. We can see those lines right here along this line producing what is likely the heaviest and the strongest of the wind gusts. So West Liberty, Salyersville, Jackson, you've got some lead time, but this thing is cruising along. It was last reported to be moving roughly 60 miles an hour. I'll try to draw one on here. We'll see if it plays out okay in terms of what it's going to produce for us. This thing is going to race through here pretty quick. We could be talking about people in Paintsville, Prestonburg, and Williams sun, in the next hour or so. So take a look at this here. Let's put it in Salyersville in the next 12 minutes. Get down. Now's the best time. You've got a little lead time. This thing is going to be knocking on the door pretty quick. 70-mile-an-hour winds, no joke. And, of course, heavy rainfall, torrential on the backside, possibly some large hail. We've seen reports of a $50 size hail, maybe even a little bit bigger, coming through earlier in the day. This one is rated for that as well as we get into Rowan County. So we'll have to keep close eye on how that progresses. I want to get back up to this storm that's moving out of Moorhead now through the eastern portions of Rowan County. Just get you an update on that tornado warning cell that's still in play for us here. You can see Rowan County till 11 p.m., so about 15 more minutes on this. Rotation still relatively broad, but strong enough where the tornado warning is definitely warranted as it works to the east. This is going to be getting into portions of Elliott County here within the next 15 minutes. Of course, that warning expires, so we might need to extend that a bit as we go through, but nonetheless, an impressive setup across the board for us here as we look through. Just going to bounce us back out because it looks like they've extended that warning that's also going through and now includes a huge portion of Fayette County. Let's get over to the Louisville radar here scene and pop that up. Again, blanket coverage at this point for severe storms, again, racing to the east. That is not what we wanted. Let me back it out here. It includes all of Fayette County, Scott County, Jessamine County, Clark, Bourbon, portions of Harrison County, our friends in Nicholas County till 11:30 p.m. for likely wind gusts upwards of 70 miles an hour possible. Again, that was the storm that put the 82-mile-an-hour wind gust in Louisville. That is the storm that has been racing to the east at 60 to 70 miles an hour, and it's going to be knocking on the door here very soon. Pop outside real quick and just see what the Lexington Tower camera has for us. This is the home view just outside of Chevy Chase, kind of downtown's off behind me, so we're pointing a little bit further to the west. You can see that we don't have much structure. There's some lightning off in the distance. Of course, that's the leading edge of the storm coming our way. This one, again, mainly for the threat of the straight line winds. Not seeing much rotation in that, but this storm is trying to catch up to everything. Let me flip over to the radar that shows the velocity and get an idea of what we're talking about here so you can see. Frankfort, Lawrenceburg, here it comes. You are right on the edge of what is going to be the strongest wind gusts from this. It's working down 421 towards Lawrenceburg. It's riding along 64, and it's heading our way here in the next half hour or so. Chief Meteorologist Justin Logan is here now with us too. He's got the latest on that tornado warning cell in Pulaski County. JLo, what are you seeing down there?
Yeah, looking at our home view cameras down to the south, this is, I'm going to pull it up here momentarily, the one that's actually in Somerset. You'll notice when it loads up here, lots of lightning, and obviously since it's dark, it's going to be hard to see much of anything until we get some illumination from obviously the lightning that's there. We're looking in the direction, the storm that's still just off to the west of Somerset, but if you look when this flashes up, and as I kind of pan the camera just slightly, you're going to notice here a bit how we have in the distance when the light shows may have a bit of a lowering. That's probably likely the leading edge in general of the storm that's coming through. Let me go back to the radar image, and this is going to show you the thunderstorm. We've been tracking this storm all the way back since it was near Paducah. Okay, so this has been a long-lived supercell. At times it has had, again, some stronger rotation. Other times it's been a little bit weaker, but what we have right now, anybody that is in Somerset, Ferguson, central and southern part really of Pulaski County, that would include Burnside, Ferguson, Somerset, even up to as far north as Science Hill. But this is where we're looking at the rotation right near and just south of the Cumberland Parkway. Let me switch over to the velocity product. So this is where we look inside the winds of the thunderstorm. I've been looking to see as well if we've had any reports coming out of this from either storm spotters as it's been moving back over south central Kentucky. I've not seen a whole lot since it really made its way back over from Lyon County. It was the last time I really saw anything that was potentially for more tornadic. But this is what we have now. If there's a tornado, it's going to be just south of the Cumberland Parkway, and it's coming due really off to the east northeast. So it's going to be into Somerset, Ferguson, and Burnside very soon. So if you live in those communities I just called out, you need to be in your safe place. Lowest floor of your home. Can't stress that enough. We talk about this at school visits. That's a basement. If you don't have a basement, which a lot of us don't, you want to be into an interior room on the first floor, a bathroom, a closet, as many walls between you and that outside part of your home. But that is the one. Let me switch radars because we're kind of still in between zones that we can get a clear picture from, at least somewhat of a clear picture from both of them. Both are showing the winds going in opposite directions next to each other in basically the same spot. So they're both saying that yes, we have rotation, but the radars, again, a little bit more elevated by the time that you get down to this portion of southern Kentucky. We also have, let me switch over to our, hold on just a second. I want to see if we have how much shear is actually showing up. You can see some weak shear that's showing right near our rotation. So this would be going due east again over toward the Ferguson area. Do you guys, did you check to see what speed, what was the forward speed on that storm? Was it still racing like 60 plus?
This one was down somewhere closer to like 40, 45 miles an hour to the east, so I think it slowed down quite a bit. I think that line behind it is really starting to sort of try to grab the energy out of that storm and sort of cut it off if it can. That's something that we're watching. I was going to bring you over here and take a look. We're going to put some trackers on the leading edge of these storms as they work in, because almost our entire area is now inside a severe thunderstorm warning of some type. Peyton, you have an update there for us on speed or?
Well, just wanted to say that storm actually up in portions of Rowan County, they're now tagging it with up in 2-inch diameter hail. Upwards of 2 inches. So
that's big hail. That's this storm up here that's just outside of Moorhead now that has the tornado warning that's since been trimmed. We're going to visit that in just a moment and see what's coming our way with that. I want to just take this storm into chunks because we've sort of got two different pieces racing, two different speeds here. We've got the line that's now working into Scott County back towards Frankfort. This is kind of falling apart for us here in terms of structure as it works into more of the Fayette and Bourbon and portions of Harrison County there. Right now in Scott County, a strong cell working in. It's really all about the winds with this setup here as it works towards us. So as well, and you can see as it moves through portions of Marion County where they got hit with some heavier winds and the potential for a tornado earlier tonight. We've actually got that piece doing the same thing. This whole line here is racing to the east at 70 miles an hour as well. So just to get us a general timing of when that starts to get into places like Danville, we're talking about Campbellsville by 11:08, Danville by 11:21, Liberty 11:27. So about 30 minutes from right now, that storm is going to be coming in with the potential of 70-mile-an-hour wind gusts too. All right, real quick, back over to these storms that are up in northern and eastern portions of our viewing area, the ones that have started up a little sooner and since been tornado warned. Here's the cell now moving out of Rowan County. It's into Elliott County now. The majority of that storm is now out of where we had those warnings before. So my friends there in Moorhead, Lakeview, Salt Lick, Owingsville, you're out of your safe space briefly. We've got, of course, another warning that's buttoned up to our counties there coming in from the east. So we're not done by any means. You can take a deep breath now. Take a relax, get some water, whatever you need. We are going to likely see another storm warning coming your way here in the next couple of hours as this line comes through. Back down towards West Liberty, Salyersville. This thing's knocking on the door. 70-plus-mile-an-hour winds possible. It's here. It's time to be in your safe space if you're not already. West Liberty, it's already through. Beattyville, you're getting hit with heavy rain, possibly some large hail, frequent lightning. Gusty winds all coming in with that. Places out in Paintsville and Prestonburg, this is likely to get extended to you here in the next 20 minutes or so. Again, this severe thunderstorm warning goes until 11 p.m. It includes all of Magoffin County. Breathitt County is in on it. And then, of course, Lee County is in it at this time. Our friends in Campton there, we were talking about severe winds coming your way just a few moments ago. You are still within a warning. Now, it might seem like the rain has let up, might seem like it's not as loud. You can't really let your guard down yet. I wouldn't hop out of my safe space just quite yet because we've still got this line that's racing through central Kentucky that's going to be there probably in the next hour or two. So game's not over for us in that department. Boonville down to McKee, northern parts of Rockcastle County, 7 minutes. That warning will likely expire. Same story for all of us in that neck of the woods as well. We have a quick check of this tornado warning here in Somerset, and then I'm going to send it over to Chief J-Lo. Looks like he's got the power outages for you just to get a glimpse of that. But real quick, just another look at this storm that is producing some significant rotation anyway, still just outside of the Somerset area, and we'll see how it goes. Just kidding. Peyton's going to tell us about those county power outages. Peyton, what do you have? Yeah, they're starting to increase. We've been showing them throughout the night, and they're continuing to go up. We're up to 2,000 customers now without power in portions of Madison County. We'll go down to Estill County, 900 customers, around 1,000 customers in portions of Powell County, 1,500 customers down into Wolfe County. So these continue to increase. Look back towards Louisville, though, 24,000 customers now without power. Once you head back towards the Louisville metro area, around 600 in Woodford County, just over 100 there in Jessamine, 100 in Mercer, 100 down in Lincoln as well, 200 in Laurel County without power. We're at 300 customers now in Clay, and 500 now over in Leslie, around 300 customers now without power in Perry County. So this continues to increase. This swath right here, right through the Red River Gorge area and right along the Mountain Parkway, is where we were seeing those severe thunderstorm warnings. I'll turn them on real quick. You can see that line of storms continuing to work off to the east, and now we have this new warning that now includes the Lexington metro area as well. So real quick, going to go ahead and switch our radar sites back over, clear off some of this so you can see it. Gusty winds once again working back in towards Lexington as we speak. This whole line of storms is pretty much now warned at this point. A lot of lightning with this, the threat for damaging winds, and we're continuing to get reports of some pretty large hail, upwards to 1.5 inches or so in diameter down in Russell Springs, as we're getting reports from spotters down there. We continue to see that tornado warning down in Pulaski County, so it continues to be a very active night across the region. And that storm that is now in Pulaski County, where I just mentioned some of that hail earlier in portions of Russell County, this is right over the Somerset area right now as we speak. I'll switch it over here really quickly to just show you the velocity on this, and we continue to see that couplet with that area of rotation working right over Somerset right now. We actually have our home view camera that's down in Somerset, so I'm going to switch it over there. Let's just see if we can get a live look of what's going on. I mean, pretty much just dealing with some heavy rainfall right now. You can see the flashes of lightning pretty much every second. We're seeing lightning out in the distance, so we'll continue to monitor this camera as the storm continues to work towards the area. This camera is over at the Lake Cumberland Regional Hospital, so we'll continue to monitor that as the night goes on as well. But regardless, it's a stormy night, and again, that area of rotation right there pretty much crossing right into Somerset as we speak, and portions of like Ferguson and just to the north of Burnside. So pretty much right along the lake and northward is where we're seeing that greatest rotation, with those winds going toward and away from the radar. So just to the south of the Cumberland Parkway, right about to cross 27 right through the heart of Pulaski County. So if you live along US 27 and points eastward, you want to get in your safe spot, lowest level of your home, whether that's a basement, interior room, or a bathroom or something. If you don't have a basement, interior bathroom on the lowest level, or a closet, things like that, get into that area. Here's the latest scan, still seeing that rotation there, and again the potential for some hail with that one as well, and gusty winds regardless pretty much with all of these, Justin, as we're continuing to see warnings pretty much area wide, and those power outages and things continue to increase. Yeah, no doubt, and we're going to continue to see that, of course. Just wanted to take a quick look outside of downtown Lexington here. Lots of lightning coming our way. The storm that is warned is now starting to move into Fayette County and will be in downtown here in the next few minutes. So this is the scene outside of the Chevy Chase live camera that we have just above the station. Lots of lightning there. Trying to get a glimpse of the structure of this storm when that lightning goes off. So we watch here and wait and see if we can get another one. I want to just see if it can light up the sky so I can get a view of what's underneath. Doesn't look like it's going to quite cooperate, so let's jump right back over to the radar scene. Getting down into this one that is now moving into Fayette County here, portions of the Lexington Metro all in this. From Midway to Versailles, we're getting hit pretty hard.
Yeah,
we need to go over it. we've got a confirmed tornado in Pulaski. Let's jump over to that real quick. Okay, that's we've been watching this one as we've been going through all night. Peyton's going to try to look up what the National Weather Service is saying about that. This is the storm that we've been watching so closely with radar. Actually, let's jump over to the Somerset camera real quick. We might be able to see what's going on. This is the look here now. Obviously very windy. It's going to be very difficult to tell what's going on, but that confirmed tornado warning into Somerset, Ferguson area with that severe warning.
I see a picture of it.
You have a picture of it on your phone?
That's in the National Weather Service chat. They're looking from a distance. We could take our home view from down there, and we're getting, it's hard to see because they're away from, they're in the rain-free zone where this picture's from.
Sure.
The tornado right now is over the Pulaski Somerset Airport right now, is what they're saying. So it's at the airport. So if you live near the Somerset Pulaski Airport, the tornado is reportedly on the ground right there right now.
Let's see if we can't get a look at that here. I'm going to see if I can't find that picture
Try
as
to get
well.
that picture.
See if I can pull it up. You said it was in their chat there?
It was in the Jackson chat. So if I move this camera around here, everybody that lives, there it is right there.
So we're looking in this area right here, I would assume.
Yes.
So that dark shaded area kind of underneath that cloud cover sort of lit up by the lightning that's going through. This is likely where we're seeing that tornado. Quite the image from that, no doubt. Obviously likely rain wrap. Don't go looking for this, not the time or the place for that. But a confirmed tornado warning is certainly a significant upgrade that we have within this. So let's take a look at that velocity again. That's a little bit much. Let's get over to this one. So right through the heart of downtown. Chief, what are you seeing on your end there? Do you have a good glimpse of it?
Look, I've got the home view pulled up. Let me switch back here. I'm on links 2. I have the Somerset camera. Obviously, our view, we're right at the hospital, so this is coming straight at where we're located. Covered up, obviously, with rain. So it's going to be rain wrapped in that picture that Justin was showing you. If you still have that pulled up off to the side there, we have like rain, and then you can see the clear defined area there. He's got that pulled up. Look at that one more time.
Taylor's getting it in the control room, so they're going to pull up that picture for us.
All right, so on the radar, what you're looking at, anybody living in Somerset, Ferguson, Burnside, central eastern parts of Pulaski County, there is a tornado on the ground. So you need to be interior room, away from windows until this passes on by, all right? So away from windows, lowest floor of your home. Now's the time, obviously, to remember and go through those plans that you and your family have, where you're supposed to go. Where you go during severe weather. Grab that blanket, grab some pillows real quick, get into that bathtub, get into an interior hallway away from windows. Turn up the TV, follow us with the live stream that's here on our weather app or on fox56news.com, and that way you can watch us and not have to stay under TV. Let's look at the home view. I'm just going to stay with this here because we're right in the heart of Somerset, and I'm looking and kind of panning to see if we can see anything. You can definitely see the trees down here, though, that are just obviously absolutely whipping. Strong winds regardless. Obviously with that tornado that's coming through, we can't see it here because just like many of you, it is rain wrapped from our vantage point. The picture that we had a moment ago that was sent in from a drone was from miles away. So it was in a rain-free zone where you could actually see right there where the tornado was. Regardless, yes, we had a tornado and it's likely still on the ground by looking at some of the latest reflectivities on the radar. Let me go back to the radar image, and this is going to show you where it's at right now, at least the center of circulation. This is going to give us at least our best picture that we have. Right here, confirmed tornado. Just moments ago, just again on the south near the airport. So we're talking just to the south of the city of Somerset. All right. I mean, it's in town, but the center of circulation is closer to Ferguson right here. All right. On the south side of Somerset. So streets here, Rose Road, Ruth Community, Kettlehead Road, Alcold Community. And I know that I probably mispronounced that. This is where the tornado is right here. And it's moving due east. So the Colo, Dykes community over toward Poplarville, Goodwater, Whetstone, that is going to be taking a track east, and I will put a track on it 45 miles per hour. So not as fast as some of the storms were moving a little bit earlier, but yes, confirmed tornado. Somerset, Ferguson, everyone within sight of this warning obviously needs to stay in your safe place till we give you the all clear. Here are the estimated times. Again, we just called some of these smaller communities out, all right? You know them. Sometimes they're a bend in the road. Sometimes it's a neighborhood, all right? Ruth, right now, basically. We're getting over toward Cola. You're talking about at 11:08. That's only a couple of minutes from now. And some of these actually may be a little delayed considering that the rotation is already right here in the city, and that's only a couple of miles away. You get over toward the Dykes area, we're talking about 5, maybe 10 minutes, all right? And then the lead time, if that holds together, it's going to be crossing over into Laurel County. Peyton?
It looks like our Pulaski County camera down there in Somerset just lost signal.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
likely seeing power outages continue to increase down across that area. So yeah, just wanted to point that out, that we've lost signal on our tower camera, our home view camera at the Lake Cumberland Regional Hospital.
Right. And when we were looking at that, you could clearly see the increased wind speeds. Our camera, little far, just a touch farther to the west of that, because the airport is basically just down the road from where the hospital is located. So it could have obviously been from power getting knocked out from some power lines, or it could be from the tornado itself right there, but we've obviously lost that. So we're going by the radar image right now. We know from that previous picture that Justin was showing you, and we're efforting to get back up. It was a narrow tornado. It was a smaller tornado, but it was still a tornado nonetheless. It was rain wrapped, but we could get a good picture of it just because of the drone that was looking at the storm from miles away. The center of circulation now just off to the east southeast really of the heart of Somerset. So that's going to be Rush Branch Road. I'll get even some smaller roads on here for you. There's Rush Branch. This is going to be taking us off to the east, going, I mentioned again, toward Kettlehead Road, Stewart Road, Clay Hill Road. This is going to also continue its trek off to the east, Apple Lane. So we're giving you as much lead time here. Everyone in Pulaski, from Somerset all the way even as far south as Burnside and as far east as the county line that meets up with Laurel County, you need to go ahead and get in that interior room. And we've not seen, obviously, this storm all night long going back to Paducah, not showed signs of really losing its structure because of the atmosphere below this. Tennessee and points to the south, it's untapped, okay? So it's pulling up warm, humid, muggy, unstable air, feeding into this storm. So as it goes east, it likely will continue. So here's your early heads up if you live in Laurel County. There's not a warning there yet, but it likely will get extended. Justin?
And that's what we were saying all night long, not to just beat the dead horse, but we've had that system moving in. We told Pulaski County folks that, hey, this thing could produce a tornado about an hour ago, and to be ready. So now we've got that in place. Our friends in Laurel County and beyond, all across Hal Rogers Parkway, really, that's the main storm that's going to be coming your way here as this next line follows suit. I just want to touch on a couple of these other locations because there's significant wind gusts on those too. So Somerset folks, you're down, you're safe. Quick update coming your way again here in just a few minutes. Let's roll down this line real fast and get you the latest on what else is knocking on the door. In Fayette County right now, through Lexington, from Georgetown all the way up to Cynthiana, Paris, Lexington downtown, Nicholasville, we've got a strong line of storms capable of producing 70-mile-an-hour wind gusts. So that severe thunderstorm warning is in play until 11:30 for all of those places, including Nicholas County, Bourbon, and Clark County out in front of it, northern Madison. Of course, if you're in Jessamine County, Nicholasville downtown, and pointing northward all the way through Fayette, Scott, and Woodford County's far northern portions of Mercer County till 11:30 p.m. You need to be down in your safe space as well. This storm is packing quite the punch, heavy rain, and quite a bit of frequent lightning, and also the possibility of some quarter-sized hail. Moving down the line towards Mercer County again, Harrodsburg to Boyle County and Danville, and even further to the south in Casey County. This line of storms is also producing and has recorded 59-plus-mile-an-hour wind gusts as it's made its way through places like Bardstown and Elizabethtown, and it is now working towards us as well. Velocity readings on that are showing very strong winds trying to get into Boyle County as we speak. A closer look at where those strongest winds are, of course, anywhere along this leading line, sure, you're going to have that. But when we get readings like this on velocity, where if I were to take a quick picture of that and try to get a reading in the cloud, we have a zone that is trying to get to 88 or even 90 miles an hour. That's up in the thunderstorm, but that doesn't mean that it can't translate some of that to the surface. Of course, it updates real quick one time as the scan comes through, but we can do it again and likely find you another brief area there where we're seeing some significant wind gusts. And that's going towards Perryville right now, and all along that blip in that storm, it's going to be moving eventually towards Junction City, Danville, and they are going to need to be down in their safe space. Now's the time. You have plenty of time before this gets there, another 20 minutes, and it's going. Quick update on the Pulaski storm. It does look pretty impressive on radar, and they extended that warning out quite a bit.
And you can see, look at this, look how there's basically like a void in the precipitation there. When you zoom in, like a donut hole right there, that's likely where we're talking about this center of circulation. They've continued this confirmed tornado still on the ground just now off to the east of the city of Somerset, just east. When I say city, I'm talking about dead center of Somerset, just east of there, just east of Ferguson and moving east. What else I want to show you? Let me go inside the storm and we can look at our debris detector. Absolutely, guys, look at this. This is the first time that we've seen this, and obviously we haven't. Where you see this drop in color, what this product is looking at is it looks at the storm in anything that is not a uniform size, such as a raindrop, such as a hailstone. It's going to give it a different color, like debris, things like tree limbs, things like buildings, things like roof, things like wood. It's a different shape. It gets that and it gives a lower reading. That's what that is right there, that big drop. That drop, that is the debris that's showing up. It's moving off to the east. So let me just put a track on the front edge of this. Still 45 miles per hour. So on that front edge here, this is where the center of circulation, this is where the confirmed tornado is. Moving east at 45. These are smaller communities. I called these out earlier, but again, this is where we're at, okay? Right now, Colo, it is on your doorstep. You may have a couple of minutes in Drum, okay? Dykes, you may have a couple of minutes as well. We're talking it's 11:10 now, 11:13 as it gets there. Poplarville, 11:14. Eula, 11:15. Down to Mount Victory, 11:18. Goodwater, 11:18. And Acorn at 11:20. So confirmed tornado right here, okay? That where I've circled in white, that is where we have a tornado on the ground. Again, we're going to get an updated scan and just did. You saw how that moved off to the east just a bit here. That is now, let me get down to street level. I mentioned the Colo area. It's right on top of Kettlehead Road, right here. Colo, Kettlehead Road. It is very close to Sulphur Springs, Hollow Road, right in here. We're talking about Malvern Hill Church Road. That's heading as you're going toward the Dykes community. Meese Road, over toward Farmer Woodall Road, all right? And then you get over to Poplarville Road. All of these areas in the zone of, yes, a confirmed tornado. So let's go back over this, okay? A wider view and just revisit what we obviously need to do there in a tornado. We talk about this all the time, but at school visits, I know kids, when we hear tornado, everyone tends, we get a little anxious, okay? Anxiety goes up. What we want to do is stay calm, grab our blankets and pillows. If you're not already in your safe spot, grab a helmet. If your kid has a bike helmet, baseball helmet, some type of helmet, put it on, okay? That will help protect your head, even obviously more than, let's say, putting a pillow over top of you, okay? Because that helmet is there for extra protection. You want to get into that interior room away from windows. Don't try to look for this. We already showed you on our home view camera before it went out that it was rain wrapped. We only were able to get a view from a drone that was miles away, okay? Don't try to look. That's our human nature. We want to see it. We want to say, oh, where's a tornado? You don't want to do that. You only have seconds, okay, to get into a basement. If you don't have a basement, lowest floor of the home, bathroom, closet. If your bathroom has windows, don't go there. Don't want to go to a room with any windows at all. Interior room away from windows. All right, that's moving east. This is where the tornado is at right there. So London, I know you are a ways out from this, but everyone in Laurel County, center of the county, London, back off to the west of London, central parts of Laurel County, this will be coming your way, and we're going to give you the lead time, but I'm telling you, you're only talking about maybe 30 minutes or so before that gets in there, if that. Justin?
Yeah, and it's just been an impressive storm nonetheless as it's made its way here. Just a couple other quick notes to touch on as we just take a short break. Pulaski and Laurel friends will be right back with you down there. We just had a 59-mile-an-hour wind gust confirmed here in Lexington. That means we have severe wind gusts confirmed with the blanket warning that's in place. This is velocity reading. We've got a lot of areas of the brighter, lighter pinks in there. We've got a lot of stuff down in Boyle County, same story. Everywhere where we have that, we could see gusts 70+ miles an hour in there, and that is something that we need to be careful of. So if you are anywhere from Cynthiana down to Paris, through Lexington and Nicholasville, Harrodsburg to Danville, and even Liberty, the warnings are in play for you right now here for us till at least 11:30, and anywhere within this line of storms we could see significant wind gusts. So please heed the warning, get down into your safe space in those areas as well. Just a quick look outside here to touch on what we've got going on in Lexington. You're going to see quite the scene as rain showers and thunderstorms roll through. We've got frequent lightning, not seeing as much wind directly here in Chevy Chase, but again, airports across town, so we're not going to see as much. We also have the latest update here for you. I'll keep an eye on this one. We've got Peyton with the latest of video, it looks like, of that tornado-warned storm, that confirmed tornado in Pulaski County. Peyton, let's take a look at what you found.
Yeah, so a viewer that lives pretty close to the lake looking towards Somerset, we'll go ahead and press play. You can see what looks to be the funnel cloud right in here. I know it's really hard to see, but with the flashes of lightning, we can get a little bit of a picture there. This was likely in the early stages when it was working right into Somerset. So this is in a more rural area, but this was just moments ago. Video just sent to me by a viewer down in Pulaski County as out in the distance as it worked towards the Somerset area. So getting some pretty impressive video in. You can make out that funnel right there out in the distance. It's just really hard where it's dark, and that's why these situations can be so dangerous, is because you can't see the tornado coming when it's rain wrapped, and especially when it's nightfall like it is out right now. But pretty impressive video coming in there of what could possibly be that tornado that has been confirmed there in Pulaski County, guys. Justin Logan, our chief meteorologist, standing by in the Weather Center as well. Justin, what's the latest on this storm? Continuing to try to gather video like this to help tell that weather story.
Thank you for grabbing that, and thank for our viewer for doing that. We obviously want people to, if it's safe to do that, obviously, if you're from a distance like that viewer was. Let me show you once again. I have circled here on the radar where we have a confirmed tornado. It is on top of the Dykes community. Let me go back. This is our standard velocity product. This is the winds inside the storm. Let me switch back over toward the debris detector that we was showing this to you a little bit ago. And look, right there, same zone, okay? Where that blue is, that was where the reds and the greens were meeting up. So that is the debris that's showing up on the radar. This is where the tornado's at, and it is moving off to the east at 45. You see that spinning signature here? That is our rotation detector, right? It's kind of lagging behind. Obviously, we have other tools here that are telling us that the rotation is just a little farther off to the east, which is putting it right on top of the Dykes community. All right, let me reset here with this same storm, and what I want to do is I want to put future radar on here, because this is going to take this particular storm and take it out over the next 2 hours. And this product, look how it still has the hook and the detail that this product has. So I'll advance this and watch. It takes that toward London and then eventually over into Clay County. So it has that bit of a turn where it's going more east-northeast over the next couple of hours. But where it's at, obviously, right now is still into the eastern part here of Pulaski County. Latest scan takes it, obviously, even further off to the east. So if you're in Laurel County right now, you still have time. Don't try to be outside on your front porch looking as the storm's coming in, because look what's on the leading edge of this. Usually on these supercells on your northern side, you're going to get torrential rain. You're going to get the hail core that's here. That's going to be rolling in ahead of this when you get the rain-free zone. Down to the southwest corner, that's where we have a confirmed tornado. And this track is pretty close to where the center of circulation is. The Barron Tornado Index is a 5. That scale goes up to about a 10. Obviously, we have a tornado because we showed you the picture, at least as of last report, and looking at the debris detector, we can see that it was still on the ground. 11:19, that's 2 minutes from now, but it's already there. It's on top of Dykes. It's on top of Bent. You've only got down the line here toward Conrad, 11:29. London, obviously, County and Bernstadt, Pittsburgh, East Bernstadt, Sublimity City. Those are over in Laurel County. You're only looking at maybe 15, 30 minutes at the most. All right, that's racing your way. Goodwater, this is about to be on top of you, and so is the NO community. Let me clear off a lot of these boxes. We have a lot of things on here that I'm showing you at the same time, and it gets a little cluttered. Look at how that's tightening up in the rotation. This is actually the tightest couplet that I've seen on this storm right now. When you're looking at the lighter shades here, the greens, the blues, those are the winds that are going toward the radar that's in Jackson. The reds are going away. Right there next to each other is obviously where we have that tornado, and that's on top of or just off to the east of Dykes. So it's between Dykes and Goodwater is where the tornado is located. We'll throw on some of those roads there, streets, as we get closer. Parkey Ridge Road up toward Mounts Road, all right? This is where the tornado is located as we speak. Mount Victory, I need you in your safe spot. Goodwater, safe spot right now. Everyone over into Laurel County needs to be in your safe spot too. Justin, did you have new information about this storm that you were looking at?
This storm, not specifically. No, I was trying to find you some more pictures and some more updates of it. This is about as serious as it gets, you guys. I mean, there's a confirmed tornado on the ground. There's nothing more we can say other than this thing is coming towards you there in Laurel County, and it's time to be in your safe space. It's obviously causing some damage. There was reports of power flashes, which means that power lines were being taken out by this storm as it moved through Pulaski. Can't stress it enough. You need to be down in your safe space. J-Lo is going to continue to monitor that storm. Of course, that's obviously our biggest and most impactful piece as of right now. Tornado warning as confirmed through Laurel County. But we have this main line racing to the east, the entire thing, from almost now into Fleming County, down through Fayette, and then heading towards places of Campbellsville, Danville. Everybody is now within a blanket in this warning for Madison County, back down through Rockcastle, and then just outside of Pulaski, in fact, Casey County and Lincoln inside of this until midnight now. This storm is producing confirmed wind gusts over 60 miles an hour, possibly upwards of 70 miles an hour, and it's moving to the east at 75 miles an hour. So it is going to be taking over as it moves in for us here in the next couple of hours. J-Lo, another update on that storm in Pulaski County. Serious stuff, you guys.
This thing just continues to tighten. And obviously, if you just missed a little bit earlier, we lost our view from the storm in Somerset because our home view lost power. Our camera went out. Where we have a confirmed tornado is in eastern Pulaski County, and it's moving east at 45. Let me throw on some of these smaller communities here and take off this twisting of the wind so it can kind of clear some things up, all right? Right on top of Goodwater, Whetstone, Mount Victory, anywhere in this zone right here, those smaller communities, this is where we have a tornado, okay? And it's moving east at 45. So let me clear that track off, and I'm going to draw a new one because this is moving more east as opposed to it is east-northeast like that track was showing. So I want to give as much lead time on this, obviously, as possible as it keeps racing east. And this is the center of it is going to come very close to London, if not just slightly south. But again, these tornadoes can wobble just a little bit. So everyone in Laurel County right now, Bernstadt, East Bernstadt, London, Ferriston, High Top, Lilly, the Boring community over toward Fletcher, Brock, over toward Deer Lick. Again, smaller communities, but all of those I just called out, if you live near those, you need to be interior room away from windows. We have a confirmed tornado. If you're just tuning in, I'm sure you've probably heard by now the tornado sirens going off. I'm sure your phone has alerted you too as the alerts go out, the emergency alerts go out on there, and it says tornado warning. It's the first thing you're like, okay, where is this? Well, we had a confirmed tornado in Somerset, okay? It was near the airport a little earlier. We had a viewer that sent that video into us after the fact, but we also saw a picture first, and this is where it's currently at. It's out of Somerset and it's out of Fergus. It's into the eastern part of Pulaski County, and I just gave you some of those smaller communities. Let me go back and I want to look one more time again here at our correlation coefficient. This is a dangerous situation. Not to say that to scare you, but right here the colors are even dropping a bit more, okay? So if you know someone that may be asleep right now, that may have not heard their phone go off, or they don't have a cell phone, they have a home phone, call them right now. Give them a call on the phone. Eastern Pulaski, anybody in Laurel County, call them. Tell them there is a tornado on the ground, and it's on just about to be to the Pulaski and Laurel County line here. Goodwater, it is just off to the east of you, okay? That's a community we've been mentioning several times. It's going east, and on this trajectory, it would again be very, very close to London. It may pass just south, but London, you still need to be down lowest floor of your home, interior rim. If you live in a mobile home and you're way over here in London, you have time to get out. Get out. You just have to get out. Anybody in London and south there, do it quick. Find a neighbor. Somebody that you wanted, that you know, that you can seek shelter. You don't want to be in that mobile home. I cannot stress that enough, okay? But there is a tornado that is on the ground. We are obviously going to stay with this. It's the only storm right now that has a tornado warning on it, and it's confirmed, okay? It's not often around here that we get confirmed tornadoes like this and give signatures like this and give videos like this that we're able to see. A lot of times around here, we'll get these quick spin-up tornadoes, okay? This is a different scenario. This is one that we've seen pictures, we've seen videos, we see debris showing up on the radar, which is the radar seeing the tornado obviously lofting the debris that it's in the air. So that's how we know that there still is a tornado here, and it's moving off to the east at 45 east of northeast by looking at that latest scan. Let me just show you how it's kind of how it's gone over time here, and it started. Look at that, Justin. As I just kind of take this back, it's the first time that I've gone back a little. You can see a bit of the debris actually all the way back off to the west, but it really did flare up as it got closer to Somerset. Check that out. And then as it currently stands, it's on the Pulaski and Laurel County line.
And it's just gotten so tight.
Tight.
So tight.
Well, I mean, like well defined. Like, you know that there is a circulation there, that there's a tornado still on the ground. I've been mentioning Goodwater, but I'm just zooming all the way in here. We're in a rural area, obviously, of Eastern Pulaski, a rural area of about to be Laurel County. This is the county line right here, Stepping Rock Ridge Road. Some of these are so small. Bathhouse Ridge Road, the Narrows Road, Line Creek Road. Looks like that's Rooks Road. We're now crossing over into Laurel County. Those places that I just called out, those roads, you have minutes, if not seconds, before the tornado gets there. And from down the line from there at 45 miles an hour, it's going to be in London here quick. I'm going to actually track out ahead of that just a bit, just to even give even a little bit more lead time at 45. These are the communities. High Top, 1134. All right, so that is further over into Laurel County here. But there are obviously rural areas of western Laurel County that it's impacting sooner than that. The roads that I just gave you. Kevee, 1137, Pine Grove 1140, Sublimity City 1141, London 1142, Ferriston 1143. That's your lead time right now. So anybody in Laurel County, seek shelter immediately. Down, under something, center of your home, keep away from windows, duck. Get as low as you can in your home. And I know a lot of spots around here, we don't have basements. I went over that earlier. And this just goes to reiterate that you want to get a center room. And most of the time, our center rooms in a lot of homes on the first floor is a bathroom. All right, and that bathroom has all the plumbing that kind of helps to reinforce the strength of that bathroom, the walls around that. Plus, it has several walls to get to the outside part of the home. That's why a center room away from windows is obviously the best. Hop in that bathtub, but you know what? If that is not the center of your home and your bathroom has windows, don't go there. Hallway, closet, lowest floor, interior room, staircase that has a closet underneath those, usually very sturdy. Get there, okay? I'm just going through a lot of things if you don't have a basement. Get a mattress, get some pillows, get those helmets and just put that on there. Have you seen anything, any reports?
I haven't. I was trying to see how high up this debris ball might be in the atmosphere. I was trying to find it on there. If you look at there's different levels of the radar beam that kind of points up and down in the storm, and it shoots up, and this is showing up through all 4 of the angles that we can see. So likely debris being lofted high into the air too. So even outside of that tornado, debris can be flying for miles at this point, really miles. So it's no joke. Even if if it doesn't sound loud at your house right now, that doesn't mean that you're safe by any means. All right, we're going to get back to that just a moment. I want to take just 30 seconds to a minute here to cover the rest, because we've got blanket thunderstorm warnings across really all of central Kentucky and moving through eastern Kentucky. Places up there like Rowan County, Bath County, folks in Flemingsburg. I told you guys earlier that you didn't have much of a break. It's back. Okay, severe thunderstorm warning for you guys until 12:15. We have it until 11:30 here for the rest of Bourbon County, and all of these areas now being extended. Garrett County, Madison County, we have Lincoln County in on this, the rest of Casey, and then back into Russell, who was dealing with this cell that has a confirmed tornado warning on it. They were dealing with that just a couple hours ago. And there was reports of some trees down, some funnel clouds in the area. So guys, no joke here. All of these blanket warnings are covering the same thing. Obviously, outside of our confirmed tornado warning, we're looking at severe straight line winds of 70+ miles an hour. That's for everybody inside these warnings. If you see a box in your county, get to your safe space. I know we're talking a lot about the tornado, and it's going towards London right now. Chief is going to have an update with that in just a second. It also looks like we might have a storm tracker guest joining us just briefly here, if we can get them on the phone. Chris Hall, it seems like, might be able to give us some feedback once we get a hold of him. He's headed towards Somerset. I saw it on his Twitter that he was going to be working into that area to figure out what's going on. Obviously, we've had confirmed tornado on the ground, so we need to keep an eye on that. But all of the rest of this line is moving to the east at 70 miles an hour, so it's trying to catch up. That storm with the confirmed tornado is outrunning it. And in fact, it's starting to get to the middle of that box. So realistically, we might even see them extend that confirmed tornado warning even further to the east. It'd be wise if you are in London to be down, of course, but even further to the east than that, now is the time. Anywhere along that Hal Rogers Parkway, give it 20 miles north or south of it, time to get down into the safe space. That's the best thing we can tell you at this point. This storm has been producing tornadic activity for the last 5-6 hours since it was over in Paducah. And we're going to keep talking about that because it's just been the cell that's been working through. Again, the rest of these are producing the winds. I want to just take a moment. J-Lo, you're almost ready, I assume? Let me just touch real quick on this here. We've got a couple of places that are in Danville right now, from Harrodsburg to Danville, Stanford, and down to Liberty. This line of storms specifically has a good chance of producing straight line 70+. Not tornado warning, but that is strong as a really low end EF0 tornado. So similar in winds and in more straight line, covering more area, a bit more widespread opportunity for damage in that area as well. And just not to forget about our friends here in Fayette County, Georgetown, Cynthiana, similar readings for wind as storms come through. We're going to have that warning that just expired now, so everything is on the lead from that the rest of the way. But just take note, that's what we've got. That tornado still looks pretty impressive and pretty dangerous down there in the London area. Justin, what do you have for us there? Is it in London at this time? How close are we talking about here?
Still a few miles away. We're looking at it in the western part of Laurel County. It's a rural part of the county. Let me zoom in, okay? Because when we zoom all the way down to even roads, there's not a lot of communities out in this part of the county. So we're giving like some roads here. Line Creek Road, it's just to the west of you, okay? Line Creek Road, West Laurel Road, looks like Rooks Road. This is passing just north of High Top. All right, here's High Top, but you are close enough by, okay? Again, in High Top, that you need to be in your shelter because this storm could turn off to the right a little bit more and get there to you, okay? But on this track, all of these communities here, okay? And I'm even including High Top, Pine Grove at 1141. So that gives 10 minutes at 45 miles an hour, but I wouldn't even risk it. If you're not in your safe spot in those communities, I would go immediately. London, 1143. So that only gives you about 11 minutes, if not sooner than that. Maplesville, 1147, all the way toward the Lesbos community at 1148. There's the newest scan. So obviously still showing that we have that debris signature showing up on radar. Let me go back. A lot of times times when you're watching us, we often are showing this view on the radar. This is the velocity. This is where the radar is looking inside the storm, so to speak. It sees the direction that the wind is moving the raindrops toward or away from the radar. They're right there together. So you look in that same zone, and we look at the debris detector in that area. A drop, all right, a drop in CC, a drop in that is where there is debris right there. So the radar on this product, as it talked about this earlier, is looking for raindrops and hailstones and things like that. Normal, obviously, weather phenomena. This is not normal, okay? So it says, hold on a second, there's something different that I'm seeing that's out there, so I'm going to flag that, and I'm going to give a lower value. This is the lower value. This is where we have a tornado on the ground. You see this little spinning signature? That is our radar that gives a debris detector. Obviously, it's showing up. It says, hey, there is debris here. We know that. That's what we've been saying. And it's moving toward London, high top. It's right there. You're close enough by, okay? But the heart of London, city of London, just south on Interstate 25. If you know somebody in Laurel County, all right, if you know somebody down here and they may be asleep, all right, they may be a hard sleeper, call them, call them, call them. Keep calling until they answer, all right? Another thing, too, if you know somebody that may be traveling tonight on the road, call them. They need to get off the road. They need to either find a sturdy building, gas station, grocery store, someplace that they can pull off at. If they can't, the next best place is, yes, in a ditch. Lowest, lowest, lowest. You don't want to pull under an underpass or an overpass. Winds can accelerate under that as a tornado is coming through. Don't do that. So that's for drivers. But if you're at home, obviously, basement, lowest floor, interior room, away from windows. And on that newest track that's coming in here, there are the communities, okay? So let me redraw that because this is racing out a little faster as we got a new update. Coming east-northeast here, still at around 45. Again, if you're just joining us, confirmed tornado on the ground still in Laurel County. All right, west of London. It's not at London yet, but you've only got in London here less than 10 minutes. All right, you don't want to chance this. Pine Grove 1142, Ferriston 1145, and Deer Lake 1153. Peyton, do you have an update? Anything, more reports, videos?
Actually, joining us on the phone right now, we have Chris Hall from 606 Storm Chasing. Chris, hopefully you can hear me. I know some of your folks have been out and they actually witnessed this tornado down in Pulaski County. Tell us what you're hearing.
Yeah, violent tornado damage near Somerset, Ferguson, and it's still ongoing right now. He still reports that he actually just put it on Twitter. You can go look. I don't know if you can share or not. That would be up to him. But there is a video out there of damage in the Somerset, Ferguson area, and unfortunately, this tornado is not lifting. It is not weakening, and it is heading towards even more populated areas.
Yeah, and Chris, you deal with storm chasing all the time. You've been across the country dealing with this. Based off what you're hearing, what are the first things kind of going through your mind right now that you would want to share with viewers based off your experience covering storms like this?
With my experience covering storms, this is not a storm to mess around with. I have pledged people on social media all day to take warnings seriously today. A very high ceiling for tornadoes today, and unfortunately that high ceiling has came to be. This tornado is very violent. This is one of our higher-end tornadoes that you'll ever see in eastern Kentucky history ongoing right now. It is throwing debris. You have to be underground to survive this kind of tornado. You can't just be hoping that, that you're going to go around. No, you're actually going to have to try and survive this tornado if it's moving right at you, unfortunately.
Yeah, and Chris, we've been getting some pictures and video into our newsroom, trying to share that with viewers so they know how serious this situation is. What is some of the damage that you're hearing reports of from the folks on the ground that you're working with?
Power lines are completely down. I've heard of a couple of residences and buildings completely crumbled. Vehicles have been tossed like toys. And unfortunately, like I said, that is still going and no sign of it lifting. So.
Yeah, we're watching the pictures on radar right now as this is crossing into Laurel County. So Pulaski County is pretty much now, this is behind you and now moving into portions of Laurel County. And we're seeing all that damage, as you mentioned, power lines down, trees down, and a dangerous situation for sure. I will say this, I know you do a lot of great work in recovery and things like that as well. So we always appreciate seeing those things that you do across the country. I want to ask though, before we let you go, again, you said how serious this situation can be. What do you think a community response afterwards could be, especially in Somerset, if you're getting word of this serious damage that we're seeing? What's next for some of these folks?
Right now, I'm going to go ahead and tell you, it's going to be a sunrise sort of thing where you're going to wake up and you're going to see nothing but destruction. I hate to say that, but that's the kind of tornado that you're dealing with right now. This is, like I said, the higher end tornadoes that you will ever deal with in eastern Kentucky history. So you're going to wake up in the morning, you will unfortunately see destruction for miles and miles and miles in the morning. A lot of folks are going to wake up to no home. Unfortunately, this is the kind of tornado that we may be talking about losing loved ones as well.
Yeah, unfortunate.
But tomorrow it's going to start the cleanup. It's going to start the cleanup tomorrow, but it's going to be a long time to clean up. But like we know, Eastern Kentucky stays strong, and we help one another. We're actually heading down there right now. We're about an hour away. We're going to try to assist with search and rescue if that's ongoing, and we're going to try to help with the recovery process as soon as we can.
All right, Chris, thank you so much. And of course, we'll continue to check in with you as we can. Want to get it back over to Chief Meteorologist Justin Logan. He has some video or some pictures coming out of those areas right now of some of that damage. Justin.
This was from Billy Bowling, and we're going to obviously, if anybody, again, Laurel County, the tornado still on the ground just to the southwest of London. But this was the storm of major damage along south of Highway 27, just south of Somerset earlier. Watch the video. Again, just south of Somerset, you can see the major damage to some of these structures. This video, again, this was courtesy of Billy Bowling. Major tornado damage south of Somerset, Kentucky, south Highway 27. You can see major structures down here that were hit a little bit earlier. Let's go back to the radar because I want to show you where the storm's at right now. Again, still going through Laurel County right now. Here is where we would have the center of the tornado right there. That debris ball or the debris signature that you see, that is where we have the tornado still on the ground, coming closer and closer to London right here. This is going to be going toward Pine Grove, Sublimity City, and here it is. It's getting closer, okay? So Pine Grove, Sublimity City, London. Ferriston along Highway 25. Again, you're talking about also Interstate 75 that cuts right through here as well, north and south. There's a wider view, okay? Here's 75, here's London, here's the Cumberland Parkway, here's the Hal Rogers Parkway. This tornado is likely, it's likely going to stay, and it is staying south right now of the Cumberland Parkway, but it's going to be going very close to downtown London. It may just miss downtown, but it is likely going to come at least on the south side of the city of London. You can see our debris detector just popped right back up. There it is. So let me go down to street level and go through some of the roads again. So everyone, Whitley Street, Barberville Road, East Laurel Road, again, Laurel Road or US 25. Again, this is Keavy Road, West Laurel Road again, Parker Road, going into Main Street, obviously, as we mentioned a moment ago, McGill Pine Grove Road. This is Wyan Road. All of these areas are right in the path here of the tornado, and this is it. I will circle it back for you again, right here where we have this blue, and this is moving off to the east just like this, okay? So that's why I was saying it may just be on the south side of London, but still, it is close enough by everyone, if you're not there now, needs to be in your safe place. I can't stress this enough. I've seen this cycle just a bit. Just a minute ago where we saw it look like that the debris signature was a little weaker, but it upticked again, and here's what's going to happen. This is likely not going to weaken. It's going to hold, and it could go even all the way over into Clay County. So if you live in Clay County, anybody living over there, you're not under a warning yet, but get to your safe place, Clay County. Do it, and do it now. If you live in a mobile home in Clay County, Manchester, this likely passes south of Burning Springs, but Manchester will be close enough by. There along the Hal Rogers Parkway, all the way out in Clay County, go into the basement, the lowest floor of your home, interior room, away from windows. Okay, let me there's the newest scan. The radar is updating more frequently. They have this to update as much as possible as it's moving east, so we can get again the newest scans all the time. This is where the tornado is still on the ground, moving east at about still 45 miles an hour. There it is. Okay, so Pine Grove. We've been giving you, I've been calling you out for about 15 minutes, 2 minutes. It's basically on your doorstep right now. You're probably hearing it. You're probably hearing the wind pick up there. Sublimity City, Ferriston, all the way out to the Brock community. How much time you got? Well, it's 11:50, 8 minutes if that. 8 minutes if that. The Lida community, Marydale. Let's see where that is. The Lida community, 11:55. You guys found any more?
It's just the same tornado that's rolling through. I just had a quick still from a video that was showed on X. Just pop over links one real quick so you can get this is a still of a video with lightning. This is the tornado that was going through Somerset. This is likely the same tornado that's still going on now. Yeah. And it is significant. It's big. And this is from Logan Pugh on X. He posted this video, so credit to him in Somerset there. I just wanted to give you a glimpse of that as that rolls through. We obviously have that tornado warning that actually just got extended here just a moment ago. Were you talking about that, Justin, where it was getting into Clay County now until 12:30 a.m.? They have a confirmed tornado warning in their neck of the woods as well. So we'll have that get extended. Plus, the storm warnings are being blanketed further. So the line of storms, J-Lo, that's coming in at 70 plus miles an hour, if you guys could throw the wall up real quick, this line of storm that's coming in at 70 mile an hour winds is producing those storms right back in the areas that were just hit. So folks in Somerset, another wave is coming. If you're out looking for damage, if you know people that are out looking for it right now, we can't get out of our safe zone yet. Another storm is entering Somerset as we speak. We showed you the video of the damage that was already done there, and now 70 plus mile an hour winds are going to be possible once again in that zone. So the tornado confirmed storm moving from London to Manchester now, and we've got a line of 60 to 70 mile an hour straight line winds to follow. Not the time to be out of your safe space. Please stay down in it. Everybody that is inside of these warnings, tornado confirmed or not, even back off towards Russell Springs, there was funnel clouds and tornadoes being reported that we saw in the National Weather Service chat. And then, of course, everybody in central Kentucky, and this is pushing into eastern Kentucky, trying to catch that confirmed warning. Confirmed tornado warning and severe thunderstorm warning lapped on top of each other for what's following it. So Justin Logan has the update on that. Of course, as we go through, Peyton has an update for us now too, it seems, on that storm. I don't know which one we're bouncing to. Somebody take it away.
Yeah, hey, Justin, really quick, working our sources all down in that area right now. Just want to get some information out to you from the Somerset Fire Department. They are currently responding to that damage back in Pulaski County. My sources down there at the Somerset Fire Department tell me that they are seeing a lot of damage in the area of traffic light number 22 and Parker's Mill Road, and they're telling everyone, do not get out. Now is not the time to get out, that there are power lines and poles down all across that area. So again, stoplight 22 and Parker's Mill Road, fire department responding to those areas. Again, that's coming from the Somerset Fire Department. We're trying to work all of our sources down in that area. We actually have a crew headed there right now. So we're going to try to bring you updates throughout the night as we can with this. So we'll continue to keep you updated. But again, the stoplight 22 and Parker's Mill Road, fire crews are responding there for some considerable damage is what they're calling it, Justin. As this continues, continued confirmed tornado warning now just south, just a couple miles south of London there, continuing to wreak havoc across the region and now pretty much paralleling the Hal Rogers Parkway. So some strong wording coming from first responders tonight, Justin.
Yeah, looking, we have our camera back in Somerset, so it was likely the power just went out briefly. I was panning that around, but doesn't look like that I'm seeing any damage, at least quickly scanning this. near the hospital there, okay, right where our camera's at, the Lake Cumberland Regional Hospital. So let's go back to show you where the tornado's at right now. If we still have a tornado, and the last time that we were looking at the storm and the debris signature was still there, and it is, okay, this is it right here. This storm is on the south side of London, okay? Let me move this a little farther back off to the west and center that, okay? Here's I-75. It just crossed I-75 a moment ago. All right, so here's London, Pittsburgh there, Ferriston here, Pine Grove here. Tornado is in between. This is it. Sublimity City, moving east, okay? It would be going toward Brock, Lesbos, those communities. It's also about to cross US 25 that goes obviously outside of London and goes down to from London to Ferriston. This is it right here, okay? So that's going to keep working its way off to the east. If you look back, look at the same zone here, okay? So everyone in that area, everybody's still in the central part and eastern part of Laurel County, from Pittsburgh all the way south of Sublimity City, south of Pine Grove, need to be in your safe spot, okay? That's where the tornado is. We just got a new scan here, so I'll re-highlight it for you once again. It's there. And if I go back to our standard velocity view that we usually show you the winds, it lines up perfectly, okay? So this is where the tornado is. It's crossing now US 25. A moment ago, I just said it crossed over I-75. Now it's crossing over 25 just to the south of London. I mean, just by a little, okay? And when I say south of London, I'm talking about from the dead center of downtown London, not south side London, okay? From the center of the city. It is just, and I mean just barely, to the south of town, okay? Here, let me go back and we'll just keep this on. This is it right here, okay? And moving east at 45. So London, I just keep going over these, but I can't reiterate it enough, because if anybody at all was still by chance asleep as this is moving in, okay? We need everybody, if they're just tuning in, to know that there is a confirmed tornado on the ground near London, okay? It was first reported on the ground near Somerset. It's been on the ground since, and it's here just south of London or very close to it. It's gonna hug right along the Hal Rogers Parkway. Hal Rogers Parkway all the way over to likely near Manchester in Clay County. So the confirmed tornado warning is extended there, and it goes until 12:30 for Laurel and Clay counties. We're at 11:49 right now. And we obviously saw just a moment ago, you have
warning back in Somerset once again here right now for us as we go through.
Wow.
So it's kind of a double whammy here, folks. That tornado warning in Somerset, new one, not confirmed at this time, but new rotation likely with this. So we've got the confirmed this place has just got hit by a tornado. The one that's confirmed moving out of London now and towards Manchester. And now we have another tornado warning for the downtown area. A little further on the north side this time. I'm going to flip over to the radar scene so we can get an idea. Look at this couplet again, Justin. Again, we have it just to the east here of Somerset and Ferguson. These areas just got hit with a tornado. Right now, this is not confirmed, but this is a tight looking rotation, and it is certainly cause for concern. Please, please do not get out of your safe space as this rolls through. If you are in between London and Somerset and it sounds like it's quiet now because the last storm went by, you're right back in your safe space if you even thought about getting out. Please do not leave that spot, because this is yet another area of rotation that could be producing the chance for some tornadic activity. Why don't we try to, if it will cooperate with me here, see if we can go right back to our debris signature, because that's been what's been really good at helping us pinpoint these. So at least good news on this part. This looks pretty uniform. So no new debris, it seems, at least on our detector, that there's new tornadic activity touching the ground here, but that's just one look from it. So that's a point of emphasis for us as we watch this. This is the regular velocity reading, not taking into account the storm motion. Still some significant readings on there, but of course the bigger one is just going to be this storm relative version where we see the reds and the greens coming together, and with that, that is a follow-up to the storm here here that has the tornado warning just south, confirmed tornado, just south and to the east of London. So we have a pair showing up here on radar, 2 different boxes. Areas that have already been hit are still under the gun here. It is by no means time to be moving out of that safe space. We're going to have to keep reiterating this is the strongest pair of storms we have on radar. Of course, we can zoom back out quick and get you onto the regular radar so you can see all of the other storms. Not only do we have another tornado warning in Somerset and that confirmed one extended out, but everywhere along this line, the potential for 70-plus-mile-an-hour straight line winds is going to be possible. So we have what is a double whammy here. This is a considerably dangerous and life-threatening situation for us in both Pulaski, Laurel, and working into portions of Clay County right now. These are until 12:30 a.m. In Pulaski County, that one until 12:15 again. And this line of storms continues to march to the east through tonight. We expect this overall activity to continue for at least another 2 hours, if not maybe a little bit longer. Justin, do you have another update? I saw you were looking at some pictures. Do we have new info?
Hayden is efforting some other clear pictures from the tornado that came through Somerset earlier. But since we have another tornado warning for Somerset and Pulaski County, we have our home view back up. It came back. So that tells me obviously the hospital was good. They just lost power for a brief period of time. So we're scanning. I want to scan in the direction that the other tornado warning, this one is just off to the north now, east of Somerset. Obviously, we're looking from this from the backside. So we're going to be looking into rain, and it is going to be hard, if not impossible, for us to be able to see if there's a tornado now on the ground a second time. Peyton?
Some good news is that tornado warning right now for portions of Pulaski, Laurel, Knox, and Rockcastle County will be able to expire at midnight. So that's some good news, but we still have that new one that's just a little bit behind it. So.
Okay. So you're saying the
confirmed tornado has since lifted.
They're expiring one is what they're saying, and then they still have that other one continuing.
for Clay.
Okay, so
Yes.
in Clay. Okay, so
Okay.
still likely a tornado on the ground. That's a confirmed
Yes.
tornado warning at that. Okay.
Yeah, so the warning that's still confirmed out into the eastern part of Laurel County, and looking at the circulation here, the velocity, it is tightened up just again, and we're seeing brighter shades of these pinks that is right along. This is going to be, I think, Highway 80 that goes out of town here on the east side of town that runs just south of the Cumberland and Hal Rogers, or the Hal Rogers Parkway, I should say. So you're talking about the Daniel Boone, obviously Hal Rogers Parkway, but East Laurel Road is the one I was looking at, and that goes a little farther east. It's riding right along Brock, Lesbos, Lida, Marydale, Lake, Bush, Sasser, all these smaller communities we're calling out. These are all east of London now, east of eastern parts of Laurel County. Still a confirmed tornado. So there's the wide view. And we have other storms, yes, some severe storms, but so far most of those that we've seen not been doing obviously the damage that it's been doing down to the south. We just can't leave for long that tornado that is down across southern Kentucky. But let me just give you a quick little recap here. Down across southern Kentucky, we still have a strong to severe thunderstorm, actually a severe thunderstorm that's coming through parts of Russell County. It's for this line that's west of Russell Springs. A tornado warning for Somerset and Pulaski County. A confirmed tornado going east of London, and that goes over into Clay County. Did you have something?
It has an update on
Another
that.
picture?
A quick picture of
Okay.
that storm.
Yeah, I'm going to show you this here. This is from Kim Goff down in Somerset. This is that confirmed tornado. Look at that. I mean, this is we were already hearing the stories of the destruction and the damage down there. But I mean, this is a textbook tornado right here, a significant one that could cause not only damage to property and things, but it's life threatening. So we're trying to get these pictures in to show you just how serious this situation is. This was from when it was out again in Pulaski County and Somerset just earlier. Again, now that storm has moved out of that area specifically, but still likely on the ground working through portions of Laurel County right now as we speak. So can we take that full really quick back in the control room just so people at home can see it a little bit better? Look at that. I mean, pretty significant, Justin, both Justins. I mean, it's just, I mean, wow. I mean, speechless looking at some of these photos coming in.
And you know, when we saw the video briefly earlier back in Somerset, just the damage of the structures, we just can pray that everyone is safe. Just pray that. Just try not to get emotional about that. Just pray that everybody's safe in Somerset and London and all in these areas. Right along the Howard Rogers Parkway here, this is where the tornado still is located. Showing up as strong rotation, riding right along the parkway. It'll be riding east, and it's going through eastern Laurel County and is about here very soon to cross over into Clay County. We haven't in a while given you a new storm track, but I'll do that because the storm's still moving at about 45. So on that trajectory, moving east at 45, that's going to take it into those communities I was just saying a moment ago, but these are going to give you some times, okay? Little, if any, time left to get there. A minute, maybe two on Lake, okay? Bush, midnight. Sasser, midnight. Hooker, 12:03. Pigeon Roost, 12:04. Urban, 12:04. Cotton Gym at 12:06. Cyberd at 12:06. Haima, 12:07. Blue Hole at 12:09. That is for the confirmed tornado and for the tornado warning that's back off to the west. Do you have an update on that one, Justin?
Yeah, we'll take a look at the timing on that too. Just the latest scan on this one is showing again now much further from Somerset, the tightening rotation in that one. Not confirmed at this time, but there's a few reports floating around of a possible funnel cloud with this one. So we'll have to keep an eye out for the potential of that to spin and look at the path it's following right towards the same path that we saw the confirmed tornado go down. We're going to get a close-up of this one and also talk about where the potential of some tornadic activity can be once again. From Piney Grove and Drum moving towards Benton, Ula, Whetstone, and Acorn, we're going to be seeing that rotation. This is likely where the strongest of this rotation is and where we could see yet another possible tornado right here.
That latest scan on that, Justin.
This one right here.
Yes.
Yeah.
East of Somerset.
Very tight.
Very tight.
Very tight. And also when we get them this tight, this close, now we're talking about what could potentially be another tornado touchdown following the same area. Obviously, there's enough energy, enough spin, enough juice where it's not stopping this one from getting down to the ground either. At least we have no confirmation radar indicated at this time, but impressive nonetheless. We're going to also throw a tracker on this one so you can see, and it looks like the tracker device itself is not quite picking up on the exact spot of that. So I will draw one out for you here too, much like what Justin was just doing a moment ago, right from the center of that. And we'll work out about 45 miles an hour. Is that what we're still saying?
Yes.
Okay, so this might just miss a little bit. So we'll have to